Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to the Great Old Broads for Wilderness end of year celebration, a new trail together. We are so happy that you are here, and thanks very much to all of our speakers for sharing their stories today. I also want to say thank you to you for being here. You have a choice for what you could do with this hour. And you've chosen to be here with us, which is so beautiful. And so while we will be hearing a bunch of different stories today, we wanted to start with your voices. You'll see a question on your screen. What is one word to describe what you love about public lands? It's probably hard to choose just one word, but if you could give it a try, in just a moment, we will see everybody's one word together. And while we are reflecting on that one word, and as we prepare to reflect with joy on this wonderful year together, I would like to pass the microphone to our beloved former executive director, Shelley Silbert, who will open us with a poem. So handing it over to you, Shelley.
Thank you, Riva. Welcome, everyone. Hello, all of you lovers of public lands and waters. I'm so happy to see you today and to open our celebration with a couple of poems that speak to the passion, the commitment, and the sisterhood that drives us in our work for our beloved organization. These poems are written by a poet that some of our broadbands in the Northwest may know, Rob Lewis. And the first one is called Credentials. When they point and label environmentalist, say no, human being. When they ask to see your credentials, point to your heart. When they say resource, say no, revelation. When they say greatest economic expansion in 50 years, say greatest mass extinction in 4.5 billion. When they say, by what authority? Say nothing. Think of the creatures and the children. Stand on the earth. Hold your hands up under the sky. And the second poem is called Why We Stand in the Rain, with cardboard cutouts of endangered species. The reason is we love them. Walrus, sea star, caribou, monarch, cougar, rhino. You can add your own favorite. In fact, you can pretty much add all of them now. It's a blessing, really, an absolution, to stand in the rain on a commercial Monday with shouts of refusal. Why else are we all smiling? Our cardboard penguins, walrus, and Arctic foxes have begun to swell and sag, and the portable PA system has sputtered out. No matter, we shout louder, we laugh and chant, and even if only the rain hears, we are here where we need to be. I want to leave you with a few wise and inspiring words of poet Andrea Gibson, who left this world much too soon in July of this year. And Andrea said, "All I know of hate is that it will never beat the love out of me." And no one in history has ever been an instrument of change. Each of us is a single key. We are never singing a solo. It is always a harmony. And I'll add, let us always sing in love and harmony to be a powerful voice for wild places. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, thank you, Shelley. That was so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love that reminder of, yeah, being a person, a human person in the midst of so much creation and love. Thank you for that, Shelley. Thank you, thank you. And thanks to everyone here for being your people in the midst of all this creation and love. You're the real heart of this network. And we have some really exciting news to share, some fantastic news from some donors this morning. And I would like to hand it over to Maya to share that news. Maya Abels, who's with our Willamette Valley Broadband.
Well, good morning, everybody. And it's very exciting to be a part of this very special webinar. And I love what Shelley said, that we're going to sing in love and harmony together. And we're going to show our love today for being a member of the Great Old Broads for Wilderness. And if you go to your chat or even look right here on the screen, you can see that supporting this wonderful organization will really make a difference. And you may not know this, but the Great Old Broads for Wilderness are funded by all of us. They don't have big donors, they don't have big benefactors. They have us. And what makes us special is that we are all a part, we're all in this together. And by showing your love and giving and contributing, you can help sustain this really wonderful organization. So, if again, look at the chat. The links are there. You can pledge. You can make a credit card gift. You can give through your QCD either this year or next year. But the important thing is show your passion and show your support by helping keep this organization strong. And by the way, just one last thing, um, we have many generous donors that put together a match so that for every dollar you give today, it will be matched. So go and show your love and give to the organization that you so appreciate because of the great work they do.
Thank you, Maya. Thank you so much. It is so awesome to know that there's a match. Thank you so much for the donors who showed their love and made that match possible. And it's just, I don't know, it's a kind of magic that if you give a dollar, it becomes two. So thank you for those who contributed to that seed fund. And thanks to everyone who gives today. We really, really appreciate it. Um, Great Old Broads for Wilderness has been getting things done for public lands for 36 years. So just a quick look back on this extraordinary year in the numbers. Oh my gosh, almost 50,000 hours of volunteer time for public lands. Um, Julie, I think we're missing the slide for a second ago. 50,000 hours of volunteer time. We had over 400 events, both for our members and for the wider community. Over 100 hands-on activities, monitoring the health of public lands, remediating damage done, and 40 plus engagements with decision makers to make sure that there are policies in place to protect public lands at scale. And all done with the spirit of fun of this is Pearl in Okefenokee Swamp, that spirit of fun of older women. We are really punching above our weight. Old, bigger organizations look to us for that grassroots power that you are a part of. And why do we do it? Why do we devote all of this time and effort? I think now we can take a look at some of those words that were shared earlier. Why do we love public lands? Let's see, Julie, if we can look at that. Maybe the word cloud hopefully is available. And if not, then we can come back to it later. We can come back to it later and see what are the things that people said, why we love public lands. Here we go. Here are some answers right here. Awesome. Thank you, Julie. So people have said things like peace. These lands bring us peace. We feel freedom. We feel beauty. We connect across generations. We feel connected to everyone and to wildlife. I think one of the words that most resonates with me is restorative. That's definitely the way I feel. I feel restored on public lands. So Hopefully you might see here 112 people have answered, and these are how we've all come together. So hopefully you see a word that resonates with you, and we will share this after today's event so that you can have the full picture. One of the people who has really put that love for public lands into practice is Cindy Anderson, one of the leaders of the Willamette Valley Broadband, and she will share her story now. So Cindy, please take it away and thank you.
Okay, thank you, Reba. And I have to correct you, my dear. I know you're from Virginia, but the word is Willamette, like damn it, Willamette. So anyway, years ago, Di Allison, my sister in Utah, told me that she had been to a leadership training for the Great Old Broads for Wilderness, and the name snagged me. Um, and without even really knowing much about it, just based on the name, I thought, well, maybe that would be a way to keep a couple of dear older friends who are now only with us in spirit, somehow connected to places that they loved that they were no longer able to hike and backpack to. And so one of those people, Joni Nelson, who was very active in our broadband up until her passing just earlier this year, she used to like to brag to other broads that she was the reason that I was involved, and she was right. She she told that to everybody. And so, anyway, when Reba asked me to speak at this event today, I told her what I felt most qualified to talk about really are the friendships that have developed through the Broads and the loving ways that we address tough environmental issues together. So I pitched that to my leadership team. And one of them, Peg Herring, suggested that I use my relationship with a district ranger in the Willamette National Forest. And so I want to read a little bit about what Peg wrote, but first I need to give this some context. So a few years ago, our broadband planned a camp out for our broadband members. And it was in the Willamette National Forest, and we called it See the Trees, Save the Forest, Heal the Planet. And it was to really kind of focus on the field checking we've been doing for months to highlight that field checking. And we were doing that to be able to comment on a proposed timber sale in the Willamette National Forest. And so I reached out to that district ranger and asked her if she would be willing to come talk to us at the campout and give us the Forest Service's perspective on the timber sale. And not only did she agree to come and do that, but she offered up her entire team of specialists, the interdisciplinary team of 12 people. So it was everyone from the archaeologist to the fire and fuels manager, even the road guy was there. And so the photograph that you're seeing here on the screen is our group with those specialists with us. They spent a whole day. So Peg wrote about that. We welcomed the Forest Service crew, listened to their side of the tree cutting story, and let them know our side of the forest conservation story. We've continued to comment on her district's work and to meet with the ranger and her crew on various projects in the forest. She knows we are watching. We continue to be vigilant without being vigilante. And I love that last statement from Peg. I think it really exemplifies why the Broads are so effective. And to further illustrate this relationship in the kind and loving way that we can address environmental issues, even with differing views, at that camp out, the district ranger connected with one of our greatest of great old bros. He's a fellow who has worked tirelessly to promote the Douglas Fir National Monument proposal within the Willamette National Forest. And after the campout, they started meeting regularly just to discuss environmental issues. Well, now, due to a debilitating physical illness, he is confined to a nursing home. The district ranger continues to meet with him regularly there to discuss environmental issues. And in his words, those visits make a big difference in his life. To me, Broads and Bros are ecological and spiritual family. We we have experiences together in places that are amazing. The places that we work to protect, the public lands we hold dear. And it's it's that it's that bond that's created from doing that work together. Um, and our effectiveness is just strengthened by those bonds that we have. Some of my most cherished friendships have been developed through my involvement with the Broads, and it's not just within my broadband. Because of national campaigns and national broad walks, those friendships run coast to coast. I can't imagine my life without those people. And I can't imagine my life without this organization, the Great Old Broads for Wilderness. So thank you to my sister. Thank you to Carol Savanen, who started the first broadband in Oregon and let me in. And thank you to all of you who are here today to show the love.
I did not expect to cry this early. This really is such a beautiful story, Cindy. Thank you so much for sharing. Um, Thank you. And oh my goodness, how dare you make me cry this early? There's still the 45 minutes to get through. But thank you so much for sharing that. It was so beautiful. And when you just think of the, stories like Cindy's being multiplied so many times across the network is just really beautiful. And the leadership of people like Cindy is such a gift. And I have to say that I practiced damn it, William it all weekend long. And I will get it right next time. Um, I will now pass our microphone over to another of our precious, beautiful broadband leaders in Tucson, Dre Her, who matched my shirt today. She and I were on a little wavelength this morning getting dressed. So I'll pass it to Dre now, and thank you, Dre.
Thank you so much, Reba, and thank you everybody for being here today. As you know, the Great Old Broads have a long-term commitment to protecting public lands and wildlife, and including at the U.S.-Mexico border. So I'm here to talk about the work that the Tucson Broadband is doing as the border saga continues. So we've been taking the lead in resistance against the newest 27-mile section of wall in the San Rafael Valley in southern Arizona. And if you haven't been to the San Rafael Valley, it's located between the Patagonia Mountains to the west and the Huachuca Mountains to the east. And these are the headwaters of the Santa Cruz River. Humans and wildlife have long depended on this region and have moved across it. The grasslands of this beautiful valley are vital habitat for birds, for insects, and migrating mammals, including pronghorn, bear, javelina, and jaguar. This is the same area that 3 years ago we saw the ill-conceived and illegal container wall build out. And that wall was subsequently removed under a Republican governor, no less, so yay. And the Broads had a really key hand in that fight, and we've continued to partner with other organizations in a broader border wall coalition. Most importantly for me, this was my spark event that propelled me into activism and into finding community. We thought we won 3 years ago when that container wall was deemed illegal and removed. But the forces of hate and the disregard for the environment persist and are even more virulent today. In April of this year, the Department of Homeland Security announced that this section of Arizona would be a target for this year's build out of the wall. And these are 30-foot wall segments, and many of you have seen that. So the border wall resistance immediately reformed and we sprang into action. I've been out there a number of times in the past couple of months, and as of today, the progress and the scope of this destruction is absolutely staggering. This remote area has vanishingly small numbers of people crossing without papers, but this logic seems not to matter to the administration or even register in the court of public opinion. The border wall resistance and the Broads seek to change public opinion so we can bring pressure on the government. And in my capacity as the co-leader in Tucson, I'm one of the lead organizers of actions against this ecocide, and that's what it is, an ecocide. We are working as a tight-knit group as we determine what can be done to bring awareness to the forefront of the conversation in Arizona and nationally. Just recently, we had a big gathering at the site of the new construction. That was on November 15th, and Representative Adelita Grijalva was there, Chairman Nunez of Tohono O'odham Nation, and about 150 participants for song, story, prayer, and art. We were joined by activists from Mexico, and we passed food and gifts across the border. It was really beautiful. And just shout out to Emily Matias and Lori Costello. They were there as well as other members of the Broads. So what are we doing? We are working within the larger Border Wall Coalition to ensure that the conversation moves beyond a sole reliance on legal tactics and into art, story, and performance. We know that fighting in the courts is important, but equally, if not more important, is ensuring that the public knows what's happening. Nobody knows. It's not national news. And under the broad waiver authority granted to Department of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem has waived dozens of laws, including environmental laws and procurement. And that's really critical. We are seeing no bid contracts given to cronies of the administration, including the privately owned Fisher Sand and Gravel, which is based in North Dakota. They got a $309 million no bid contract in June. So they have they have significant environmental and labor violations, and we're giving them our money to kill this region. People need to know about this, right? So as we move into 2026, our goals are simple but complex. We want to further engage our membership and other community members in the resistance and continue to support the wider coalition with organizing, with fundraising, and with more activities such as the rally we held on November 15th. So my appeal to you today is if this moves you to take action, please reach out to me directly. I would absolutely love to fold you into this amazing group of activists. And we have a gorgeous new website if you would like more information. It's borderwallresistance.com. Pretty easy to remember, but I believe we'll be sending out notes after the meeting. So again, thank you so much. And that's the report from Tucson.
Thank you so much, Dre. Thank you for sharing that. And y'all, Dre made that headdress that she was wearing in that photo to bring some life and light to these protests against this border wall. And that's what Great Old Bronze for Wilderness does so well. Bringing people like Dre together with people around her to fight locally against these national issues. So thank you very much, Dre. Thank you, Emily and Lori, who are listening. Thank you to everybody who contributed to that. It is so, so important. The work of Great Old Broads for Wilderness is being noticed nationally, which can be a little scary. We are fighting some pretty big powers that be. But the good news is that we are also getting a lot of recognition. You are getting a lot of recognition. Dre, Cindy, Emily, Lori, Maya, and you. All that we do together is getting noticed. There are a few special messages from well-known leaders who wanted to say hi to you but couldn't be here. One of them is an environmental activist named Catherine Coleman Flowers. She has been on the cover of Time magazine. She is a MacArthur Genius grantee for her work on the environment, and she is the former vice chair of the Biden White House Council on Environmental Justice. And she wanted to thank you for your good work. So we will look at a video from her. Heads up, she sucks quietly. So maybe raise your volume up a little bit so you can hear her.
My name is Catherine Coleman Flowers. I'm the founding director of the Center for Rural Enterprise and Environmental Justice. There's a special role for older women in the fight for environmental justice. You are the leaders, the people others turn to, and the people who step up when others fall down. Our communities are counting on you to make sure that we have clean water to drink, green spaces to play in, and a world that's free from environmental destruction. Older women get things done. You give us hope for the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. And with the support of leaders like that and with everything that's happening on the ground, I will now turn it to Maya, who will give us an update on this exciting match and where we stand.
Okay, well, this is very exciting. The gifts are starting to come in, and it's been really inspiring and exciting to listen to these amazing, amazing people speak today. And there's so many things that make the Great Old Broads for Wilderness great. And it has a lot to do with the people and the friendships that you can make and the experiences that you can have that you might not be able to have if you weren't a member of the Great Old Broads. So the gifts are coming in. We're getting some really nice gifts from Arizona and from Washington. We got our biggest gift so far from Washington, the state of Washington. We've gotten a few gifts from Oregon. That's good because my friends better be supporting us here. And they're coming in, but we need more. This is kind of just like what we do for public television and public radio. This is your chance. This is the time to show your love, to show what it means, to show the importance of being a member of this very great organization. And remember, giving today, every dollar you give is going to be matched by some very, very generous people. So we're really lucky to be a part of this organization, and let's show our love. Let's show our love.
Thank
Okay?
Thank you so much, Maya. Thank you. And thanks to everyone who's showing the love today. I will now pass it to one of the current Great Old Broads for Wilderness donors and the chair of the board at the Center for Biological Diversity, our friend Marcy Olejos. Marcy, please go ahead.
Thank you, Reba. Thank you, everyone, for being with us for this special event. My history with Great Old Broads goes back to the 1980s, meeting Ginger Harmon, one of the founders of the organization. We spent many adventurous days together hiking in southern Utah and the Grand Canyon. She was tough. Here's a funny story about Ginger. We're at the saddle leading into Nankoweap, the Nankoweap Trail on the north rim of the Grand Canyon, and we meet up with some hikers coming out, younger hikers. They look at us and say, you know, it's a long way down to water on this trail. It's 10 miles. And Ginger says, oh, we're not going down the trail. We're heading over to a free fall route. There was silence. The guys ask Ginger's name. She says, I'm Ginger Harmon. They respond, you're Ginger Harmon? You're crazy. Ginger has always been a fierce defender of our public lands, always pushing for more wilderness designations and spreading the word about the importance of wild places. She made us realize we could be part of a rather untraditional organization that was out to make a difference. Great Old Broads became an activist organization for older women who wanted to make some noise about wilderness issues. Broads has gained a good deal more sophistication than in those early days, I can tell you. But our core mission has always remained clear: land protection for the good of the planet. The large environmental groups have relied upon us for on-the-ground monitoring of wilderness study areas and data collection in areas of unlawful grazing practices and ORV use. We provide vital information that forms the base of legal action taken by those groups. Broad's ability to connect with folks all across the country through our broadbands network is a model that other big organizations honestly envy. A network made up of passionate volunteers have been seen whacking, sawing, and pulling up miles of tamarisk along the desert rivers to protesting oil and gas development right outside the courthouse. We even show up on the steps of the Capitol in DC. These folks, including bros, are well versed on the issues and trained for public speaking by the organization. We have been numerous thorns in the sides of many county commissioners. Great Old Broads has always known that educating the public on public land issues and wilderness issues is vital. We're good at it. It's what we love to do, and we have fun doing it. Broads is a bit edgy, and that's another reason I like it. I want to support groups that put themselves out there and make a difference right now. I continue to support Great Old Broads for Wilderness because I believe we provide a service in the fight for protection of land and biodiversity, and a venue for concerned, energetic activists across the country. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. Back to you, Reba.
Thank you so much, Marcy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I think we can all take Marcy, the thing that Marcy and Ginger heard. Your name is blank. Put your name here. Your name is you. You're crazy. That is definitely the spirit of Broad. So thank you so much for sharing that, Marcy. Really, really appreciate it. And we will turn now to another donor, our friend Dreamweaver Spielman, who is a donor and the co-founder of the Circle of Dreams Foundation. So Dreamweaver, please take it away.
Great, thanks, Reba. Hello, everybody, and I'm honored to be here with you today on behalf of the Circle of Dreams Foundation and to be able to stand alongside these amazing women and bros and the Great Old Broads for Wilderness today. I'm here as both an individual member and as a sponsor of today's event in reminding us why we do what we do. And I'd like to share with you a little bit about our foundation and how we got involved with the Broads. The Circle of Dreams Foundation was founded and exists to help support organizations that nurture connections to nature's commons. Nature's commons is all that we share. It's the clean water, the clean air, the fresh water, resilient oceans, healthy forests. Nothing else can exist, let alone thrive without these fundamentals. And we champion organizations who care for our planet's ecosystems, build community, and take action that makes tomorrow healthier than today. We really believe that communities flourish when people feel connected to the land, to purpose, and to each other. And that connection is exactly why all of us are here, taking time out of our day to be here with the Broads, our common love of nature. What immediately drew us to Broads years ago is not only their fierce love for wild places, but the way that they carry out their mission. With commitment, collaboration, joy, humor, and a sense of community that lifts everyone who joins them, as we've heard from everyone speaking so far. As I'm sure many of you would agree, the 2,000 plus members don't just volunteer or attend meetings. They build friendships, support one another, and create networks committed to protecting the places we all love. And that spirit deeply aligns with our foundation's mission of strengthening community through shared purpose. Let me just take a moment to touch on the broad stewardship model because it embodies what we value most at Circle of Dreams, which is partnership, accountability, and hands-on impact. The Broads work tirelessly in many ways, some of which we've already heard today, with allied organizations, with agency officials, and with local partners. Members are out there monitoring ecosystems, sending reports, writing letters to ensure our public lands are truly protected, not just in theory, but in practice by getting out on the land. This is environmental stewardship at its core. Here's a personal story of that stewardship that I participated in that I'd like to share with you. As a member of the San Juan chapter, I got to take part of the Trekking for Bighorns expedition, which was a powerful example of what happens when passion meets action. Members traveled high into the Colorado San Juan Mountains around Silverton and Ouray, about 12,000 feet elevation, by jeep, horseback, and leg power to monitor one of Colorado's most iconic species, the bighorn sheep. This wasn't just adventure for adventure's sake. It's work that is essential for citizen science. The bighorns are threatened by diseases that are transmitted from the domestic sheep herds, and monitoring the distance between the grazing allotments and the bighorn habitat is one of the best ways we can protect this keystone species for generations. The Northern San Juan chapter led these expeditions in collaboration with conservation partners. This is leadership. This is stewardship, and this is community. I really believe that stories like these need to be told because witnessing the courage, the care, and the commitment behind this work inspires you to join in. Under Reba's leadership as executive director, the Broads have a strong vision and need your commitment to join in the caring of our Mother Earth and all her children. Protecting wild places is not only a responsibility, but a lifestyle of passion. When communities unite, they have the power to shape the future. And this is exactly why we chose to make a $5,000 match for contributions made by you today from this event. We felt it's not just important, but necessary to do our part in the community, helping with the resources needed for all of the hard work coming in 2026. So today, I'd love to invite you to take the next step, whether that's donating toward today's fundraising goal, volunteering, joining a chapter, or simply sharing this message. Your participation and involvement keeps collective dreams for wildlands, clean water, thriving wildlife, and connected communities alive, and ensures that the Broads can continue this invaluable work. So, on behalf of myself and Jeannie Jambor of the Circle of Dreams Foundation, thank you all for being here, for caring, and for believing in what we can do together. It really touches my heart. And with that, I'll hand it back to you, Reba.
Thank you so much, Dreamweaver. Thank you, thank you. And thank you to Jeannie as well from Circle of Dreams. That kind of hands-on citizen science is really remarkable. And as so many people have said, others count on us to do that work. So Dreamweaver, thank you for making that happen. Thank you to you and Jeannie for making that happen. And thank you for helping donate towards that match for today. The Dreamweaver, y'all, Dreamweaver and a small group of others are the reason why every dollar you give today becomes $2. So thank you to everyone who made that match possible, and thanks to everybody who gives. We have heard so far from Cindy, Dre, Catherine, Marcy, and Dreamweaver about what we've done over the past year and how it's made such a big impact. And we've heard from you why we care about public lands. Let's take just a couple of minutes and look at a quick overview of plans for the year ahead. These plans stand on a really strong foundation. The foundation that we have built together over the past 35 years, 36. But we know that although that foundation is really strong, we need our house to be even bigger and even more impactful in the neighborhood because the threats to public lands are even stronger. So we're going to build even stronger. And these plans are based on hundreds of hours of conversation with members and advisors and partners. So thank you to everybody who shared all that time and wisdom. We really want to make sure that we are responding to your needs and advice. The first way that we will build stronger together next year is in supporting our members. we have heard from broadband leaders who want to do more engaging their members and communities. How do we organize an event? How do we recruit new members? And of course, we already provide that information, but in the year ahead, we will provide it more intentionally through trainings and resource development. While our current broadband leaders are so important, we have about 9,000 people in our network, and all of them have special gifts and want to contribute. So, in the year ahead, we will do more to meet those people where they are. Maybe they're not ready to lead a broadband yet, but maybe they could organize a potluck in a state park or hold a book club or a film screening on public lands. So we'll have that kind of journey of leadership, developing leaders, meeting them where they are. You can see here a group of broads in the Siaslaw National Forest, and you can see those big trees that they're standing next to that all started out as little seedlings. That's what we'll do some of next year, is helping develop those great big trees. Another way that we'll build stronger together next year is in equipping our grassroots. So many of you want to do advocacy. You see the threats and you want to fight them, and you're looking for information on how to do that effectively. How do we win? We know that there will be some advocacy issues that we know about. Midterms will happen next year. We also know that new stuff will arise. There will be some horrible person appointed to be the head of some federal agency. We know that's going to happen. So we will provide that training, resources, and support so that grassroots can advocate effectively, both on anticipated issues and emergent issues. We'll also make sure that grassroots have access to information that people are really hungry for. How do you do art on a hike? How do you best plant native species? People are really hungry for that information in our network. And a lot of these resources already exist, but we could do a better job of making sure you can access them. And where needed, maybe we create a new resource or partner with someone else to provide it. You can see here this broad and bitter brush. She is already advocating effectively. So we're looking forward to doing even more of that in the year ahead. The third way that we will build stronger together next year is in our infrastructure, our organizational infrastructure. We'll strengthen our communications tools like our website and the dashboard that leaders use. We'll also connect members more to each other. Some of us go on broad walks and love it. The chance to meet people face to face, as Cindy was saying, those are connections that last a long time. Some of us don't go on broad walks or aren't able to, but we still want to talk to each other. And maybe that's by the phone or online, but just creating those structures to help people connect directly. And then we have some incredible groups and committees here. Last week, I was in a meeting with some former land agency employees who have a lot of skills and connections to offer. We have really experienced advocates who are working within regions and on specific issues. And to be honest, we want to make the most use of them possible. So, to make sure that we have those structures in place to really use those committees and groups, that'll be part of the plan next year. You can see this group in St. Mary's is trying to make a circle. They've almost made a circle. They're going to strengthen up that structure. That's what we're going to do next year, just strengthen up those structures a little bit. And the fourth way that we'll build stronger together next year is in lifting up our voice. as we have for a long time, we'll work in collaboration with partner organizations, but make sure that that work is as impactful and united as possible. We will influence the national conversation on public lands. Are they really ours? Are they really public? Or do they belong to developers, as Dre was mentioning, or oil and gas companies, as Marcy was mentioning? We need to answer that question on the national level. And Great Old Broads for Wilderness will help answer that question through our work in the press, media, digital communications. We will help make sure that the national conversation is that public lands are for public hands. We'll also lift up our voice in shared campaigns, working on the same issues nationally together, working on shared issues at the local and state level, making sure that we're speaking as one to make a really big impact. And you can see this broad here in Salt Lake City is not at all shy about having that big voice, and good on her. Finally, just want to say that building stronger together is something that we do together. Um, Please look for a list of events and activities early next year on the website. Um, and really, this is all because of you. Just like these two broads here in Shoshone, we do all of this in relationship. As Cindy was saying, this is all about friendships. We only do this together. We're a grassroots network, and all of our grassroots leaders, our donors, are what make this work possible. So just as we started this time hearing from you, we'd like to continue hearing from you. So you will see a question on your screen. Think back to what you've heard in the last 45 minutes, all of the stories that were shared, the pictures that you saw, the plans for next year. And again, try and say just one word to describe why the work of Great Old Broads for Wilderness makes you hopeful for public lands. Is it grassroots? Is it advocacy? Is it sheep? Whatever it is that makes you hopeful, please share your word there and we will look together in just a moment. And we have only 15 minutes left on this incredible match opportunity. So I will share the stage now with Maya, who will give us an update on where we are.
Okay, well, this is very exciting, and I want to thank everybody because you are showing up and you're showing your love, and being a member of this amazing organization is so special. And listening to all these incredible people today, the chair of the board of the Center for Biological Diversity, oh my gosh, a foundation executive, all, and of course, and then people from our broadbands, as well as our amazing new wonderful executive director, Reba. And we thank you so much for what you're doing. And look at where we are so far. This is so great. Already, we're almost at $10,000, probably from the time the slide was made. We've surpassed $10,000. We only have $15,000 to go, and you can help us get there. We're getting gifts coming in from Utah, some very generous gifts from Oregon and from Durango and from Idaho and Washington. So some of the other states I haven't mentioned, if you live there, don't forget, this is the way to show your love of this amazingly wonderful organization. This is the organization that gives all of us an opportunity to be around incredible people who we might not have had a chance to meet, and we build great friendships and we have great experiences together. And mostly, we're getting out and doing advocacy and making a difference. This organization is so special. So remember, this organization does depend on you. We, of course, wish we had some major benefactors, but we don't. We're a grassroots organization and we're funded from grassroots people just like you. So be sure to give generously. You can go to your chat and you can find the links to make a pledge. And hopefully we'll reach our goal today of $25,000 with your help. But we have until the end of the year to do that. And remember, this is all match. So we're really close, and your generosity really makes a difference. And I want to thank everybody who's given so far and all those people who are thinking about giving. This is an organization that makes a difference. And I want to I'm very happy. I feel like my life is so much better because I'm a member of this organization. And please remember to show your love and make a gift today.
Thank you, Maya. Thank you so much. And thanks to everyone who's making that gift today when it magically doubles. A great, great way to use the magic of that match. So thank you so much. We have one more special video message from a national leader who has seen your work and loved it. He is Bill McKibben, an environmental activist and the founder of 350.org and also Third Act. So we will now hear from Bill.
I just want to say very quickly that if there is a single demographic that has some hope of getting us out of the mess that we're in at the moment, uh, yes, it's youth, and yes, it's people in vulnerable and frontline communities around the world, and yes, it is older women. I've been organizing the Third Act now for some years with all kinds of older people like me. Sheer demographics means that most of them are women, but it goes far beyond that. Uh, Living the last 60, 70, 80 years on this planet has endowed women with an inescapable sense of how power is distributed and how power works on our earth. And that is a magnificently important tool in understanding what we need to do next. So that's who I work with, and I love it. And I could not be more grateful to everybody who's out there getting this done.
We are so grateful for Bill's recognition. He's recognizing you. You are the people that Bill is recognizing. You are the reason why he is hopeful. You are lifting up hope across the country. And not only Bill, not only Catherine, but all of the organizations that look to Great Old Broads for Wilderness find hope in the work that we do together. So 102 people have said why the work of Great Old Broads for Wilderness makes us hopeful at this critical moment for the lands we love. We are hopeful because Great Old Broads for Wilderness has community and enthusiasm and wisdom. Oh my goodness, all this wisdom, the strength that we've heard today, the determination. We are uncompromising. We are acting together. We are passionate. We are advocates. We lift up our voice. We're committed. We're unified. We're educating. Oh my gosh, look at all of these reasons why people are hopeful for the year ahead because of you. It is so great to see all of this. And we will again share a picture of this after today's event so that you can keep on feeling that hope and love. As we think about our work for the year ahead, we know that there are two key components. There are the grassroots leaders that we've heard from and the donors that we've heard from. They go hand in hand. Both of them are totally necessary. And I'm so grateful for everyone who has made today's match possible. And I will pass it now to Maya, who will give us only 5 minutes left, an update on our match right now.
Okay, everybody. Well, oh my gosh, we're at $17,000. We're really so close to our goal of $25,000 because of you. We even got a $5,000 commitment today from a donor in New Mexico. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. But thank you to all the donors, not just those who can give $5,000. Thank you to anybody who can make a gift today because you really are making a difference. And we're getting gifts now from Ohio and Arkansas and New Hampshire and Massachusetts and Nevada. Oh my gosh, they're coming in from all over. So again, lots coming in from Oregon and Washington. We haven't had that many from California. California, it's time for you to step up. But all these other people, thank you so much. You are truly making a difference. And it is this organization that gives us the opportunity to be around people like Bill McKibben. Oh my gosh, Bill McKibben values what you do. He values what we are doing to make a difference. Um, and hearing from Catherine Coleman Flowers, oh my gosh, a MacArthur Genius winner and somebody who really makes a difference. She took the time to make a video to say thank you to all of you. We are making a difference. And please, if we don't quite reach our goal today, which I'm hopeful that we will, but you can think about this and you can keep giving until the end of the year and it will count. And I decided I'm going to make a gift from my 2026 qualified charitable deduction. I'm going to make a pledge today and write a check on January 1st. So that's just a thought that some people can do that if you're in that age group and you have some of your QCD left to give this year or next year. Those things are such great gifts. We are the reason that this organization exists. And I just can't thank you all enough for being such a great part of this organization. And I'm just so moved to be a part of everybody. And I just want to say thank you to Reba for pulling us all together and making this happen today.
We're going to be sharing thank yous because I feel lucky just to be among all of you all. Oh my gosh, to hear all these stories. And thank you to everyone who's given. We are so, so close. We have just a few minutes left till the end of the hour. So as Maya said, please get in your pledge if you are able, donate if you are able. All of it will magically double in the next couple of minutes. So thank you all so much. I will now pass it to our beloved board chair, LD Delano, who will close us out with a little bit of a poem and some of her beautiful paintings. So to you, LD.
Thanks, Reba. Hey, Maya hasn't mentioned Arizona yet. Where are my Sonora and Tucson and Flagstaff peeps? Come on, we need to show up for broads, you guys. So while I do my little reading, you guys can call Jane or log on and make a pledge now. You'll have time to do that. And just a little tip, when they ask you to speak at something, make sure you're not speaking after Bill McKibben, right? You got like the varsity and the freshman squad over here, so be kind. First off, I'm going to read a little something from a fellow Aubrey Marcus, part of a poem he wrote called What? You are comprised of 38 trillion cells, 84 minerals, 23 elements, and 8 gallons of water. You have been built up from nothing but the spare parts of the earth you have consumed. According to a set of instructions hidden in a double helix and small enough to be carried by an egg, you are recycled butterflies, plants, rocks, streams, firewood, wolf fur, and shark teeth, all broken down to their smallest parts and rebuilt into our planet's most advanced living thing. You are not living on Earth, you are Earth. Okay, I got another one. Take a deep breath. And this other one has some powerful imagery. So if you're compelled to close your eyes to receive it better, that if you want to do that, it's up to you. This is a poem from Roger Evans Baker. Walking along an ancient dusty path in the forest, summer embraces my memories as the warbling of tiny birds enters my ears. Sweet scented wildflowers cover the face of the meadow and enter my senses. Pine trees with wild scents, sycamore trees with white and gray mottled skin, and oak trees with gnarled limbs reaching for ground and sky shade my path. A hawk sitting in a tall pine tree beside the path soars to the heavens with a sharp complaint when I disturb its serenity. I hear the rustle of the soft chattering of small animals under fallen leaves and twigs as a soft, balmy breeze rushes over the ground with its melodious voice. My memories awaken, and I recall past treks to the woods when I was younger. I release my breath with a yearning sigh and feel the ache in my limbs, telling me that I am old and my fading hours fight against the reality of who I am. But I know that what I am is tied to the beauty and wildness of this forest, and I will ramble along these paths until I no longer have hours or breath.
Thank you, LD. I did close my eyes. So thank you for that invitation. And it's so beautiful that both LD and Shelley did not plan this, y'all, but they both had something about our connection to the greater web of life. We opened and closed that way. So thank you so much for that. And thank you to everyone who has spoken. I will hand it to Maya for our last check-in on our donations today. So to you, Maya.
Okay, everybody. This is very exciting. Oh my goodness, we did it. We made our goal. We're at $28,445. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. You know, I'm in Hawaii on vacation and I saw the volcano erupting on Saturday, Kilauea volcano. And that's what today was like. This was just like the eruption. We built up some momentum and all of a sudden we exploded and we reached our goal. And remember that $28,000 is matched. So it's really $56,000, almost $57,000. This is so great. We're in the midst of a year-end campaign, and we're so close to reaching our goal of $250,000 for the whole campaign. And thank you, everybody. This is just very, very exciting. And I know we had gifts from all over. And yes, some have come in from Arizona. A big one came in from Durango. But everybody, thank you so much for participating.
Yay! You guys can't see the panelists, but everyone's doing jazz hands. Everyone's doing jazz hands behind the scenes. So please feel free to jazz hands yourself if you'd like. And thank you to everyone. This has been a wonderful, wonderful hour together. Our sincere thanks to everybody. Hundreds of donors, both those who made this match possible, those who showed up today to double their gifts, and many, 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 many more behind the scenes. All of you power this work. Along with our 2,000 members, the 9,000 people in our network, our 30 plus broadbands, our committees, groups, and board, and most of all, you did have a choice for what to do with this hour, and you chose to spend it with us. And we really appreciate all of your support, and we very much appreciate you. Just the gift of your presence and your time is really what makes all of us so hopeful for the next year. So thank you. Please stay tuned. We will send an email with recording and updates from this event in the next couple of days, and we will stay in touch. Thank you all. Bye.
Oh my gosh.